One of the most difficult things to do is wait. Think back when you were a kid growing up at the amusement park. Waiting in line to ride the hottest ride was a very difficult thing to do. We would find ourselves fidgeting. We would find ourselves talking about anything we could think of just to pass the time. Even now, as vacations are approaching, we find ourselves counting down the days until we can spend time at the beach, exploring new places that we have never been before, or getting to go back to our favorite cities. Waiting is hard in any capacity and also is uncertainty. This viral epidemic that we are facing brings much waiting and uncertainty. Waiting to hear what is next, waiting to find out when this ends, what's going to be canceled or postponed or etc., and uncertainty about how things will go once our lives are back to normal. As you enter our home, the first thing you see is a sign on the wall, and it has this verse, Isaiah chapter 40, verse 31. It begins by saying, "But those that wait on the Lord shall renew their strength." God has a plan for our lives. We are fortunate enough to be able to watch the lives unfold of Noah, Abraham, Joseph, and Moses. And the list goes on of how their faith guided them through the difficult times as God's plan was unfolding for them. They let their lives go in completely different direction than they had planned. Moses had the opportunity to grow up in a royal household as the grandson of Pharaoh. But he stood up for his people when they were mistreated. He answered the call and stood up to Pharaoh and led the Israelites out of Egypt, which was the land of slavery for them, and into the land of Canaan, the land that God had promised them. Joseph would think he had all of his troubles behind him, only to find himself being sold to a group of nomads or being thrown into prison. Joseph continued to trust God to direct his steps. We need to learn to wait on the Lord and look for the opportunities that he places in our way. Moses and Joseph both had tremendous amount of uncertainty, and they both ended up stronger people for the Lord. We too have so many opportunities that are being placed before us. All we have to do is look around. Isaiah chapter 40 verse 31 ends up with, "They shall mount up their wings like eagles. They shall run and not be weary. They shall walk and not faint." When this is over, we too will mount up with wings like eagles. We will be renewed and stronger for the days ahead. The Lord has big plans for Southern Hills as a congregation. I'm excited about the bonds of unity that are forming within our physical family units, and also the bonds that are forming within our church family. Continue to wait and study and draw closer to Him to be ready to soar as eagles.